they can hear you. A lot of times people will ask me when their relative has gotten to the point where they can no longer communicate, especially in a hospice situation where maybe a parent or a loved one is passing or in the process of passing, often asleep, and they can't communicate anymore. And it might just seem that your words are going to waste. Well, I can tell you firsthand that I've had an experience that I'm going to share with you today that is a very special moment in my life, maybe one of the most special moments in my life, and it had to do with my grandfather, who was a mentor to me, who was one of the people in my life that really saw me for who I am, and I have so much appreciation for him. In fact, one of the dedications that I put towards my business is dedicated to my grandfather. The last 2 weeks of his life were difficult for him. He was in the hospital, and his kidneys had shut down, and he was having a lot of swelling in his body, which eventually the last 2 days went up to his brain and kind of put him out cold, which wasn't a bad thing. It was a good thing. People would come in and out and talk to him and say their goodbyes. But I was in an active role. I was there at night. I was taking the night shift to make sure that if something happened, one of our family members were going to be there. So I did the tough night shift, and it was a Sunday night, I remember, because the 49ers were playing, and I had to watch the game there while he was asleep. And I got back there around 8 o'clock at night and kind of settled in and watched the highlights of all the different football games on SportsCenter. And in fact, it was probably 11:30 at night, 12 o'clock at night, and SportsCenter was kind of running in the background, but I was falling asleep. And as I was kind of asleep there, it was, like I said, it's around midnight. I got this jolt, and in my mind now, looking back at it, I think it was my grandmother who had passed the year before, who just basically shook me and woke me up and said, "Turn off the TV and be with your grandfather." And so I did. I went and turned off the TV at the time. So I went up and I turned off the TV. I kind of went right next to him, and his breathing had become more shallow. I could tell that it was getting near. And so I hadn't really told him how important he was to me. And so I started talking to him, and I started saying, you're a great grandfather, and that I love you, and I appreciate all you did in my life, And it was a very special moment, and I just told him, there's nothing left for you here. It's your time, and it's okay. You can go. You don't have to worry about anything anymore. You can just go. It's fine. You're in pain, and this is just your body, and you just go. And as I'm saying these words, he took his last breath, and almost didn't believe it. I was sitting there, and I could tell the air just had escaped from his body, and instantly he became, a body, and the spirit had left him. I look back now and I think of it as one of the most beautiful things that I've ever experienced, because it was just so special to mark that moment with him. And I think in a lot of ways it inspired me to open this business many years later. But they can hear you. They can truly, truly hear you. So talk to them. And if it's at the end and they're in a situation like he was, it's okay to tell them they can go. It's okay. We got this. And I think that's the relief that he needed, and maybe some other people may need at some point, to let go of that control and just go. Okay. All right. I'll talk to you guys later.